Right, so what's going to happen now is we're going to have a walk around together. You'll have a guided tour. Some parts will have to separate, other parts we can stay together. That will finish around lunchtime, and then you will have free time. We will pass the meeting point to come back on the walk, and we will point that out to you. We'll meet in town to come back together. But we're going to get the 5 o'clock train back from here. Now. One thing, as we go around, I will have to take photos as a memory of the trip. Now, half the group are in the WhatsApp group, the other half are not. If you have WhatsApp and you're not in the group, come and take my number, and then I'll put you in when we have the free time. But are you okay with the photos? Because I need your permission to use them. So let's have one here with the Oxford sign, and then we'll head out. So, if you'll stand over there, please. If you'll stand there for a photo. Ticket in your hand. Tell the guard, ask the guard if you can go through the big gate. Don't put ticket in the gate, just you can go through the big gate. It will take ages to put 50 tickets in the gate. Now have it in your hand and show it as you go past.
¿No lo tenés el ticket? Tengo que pasar el ticket. Okay, if you take them across to the ox, and I'll tell what someone will be else. Okay, everyone, follow the kilo meter.
Make space for everybody.
No, hat. Scarf.
他告诉你的几点？等一下，要去这个啦，掏耳。今天没有。
With a warning to tell you about the dangers of Oxford. Did you know that Oxford is a dangerous place? No. Well, I tell you, they have these things called shops, and these shops, they take students inside, and we never see them again.
Okay.
So my advice to you is that if you see a shop, you say no.
Okay.
I will not say that. This is my very silly way of saying, please stay with the group until the end of the walk. You will have a lot of time for shopping. You don't need to look in shops as we're going around Oxford. Yeah, because as you see, we are a big group, and if we lose people, I should be at the front guiding, not at the back looking for lost students. So please stay with the group. I've got my my flag umbrella here, so look out for that. Also, this is Isa. I will introduce him again when Roxana comes, but Isa is wearing red, so you can't mistake him either. So either look for the flag or look for the red. Oh, and Akil is fluorescent, so there you go. So you have a way of finding all three of us. So, now I'm filling in. As I said back at the platform, yeah. Yeah, as I said over there, we will meet in the centre to come back here. If for whatever reason you do not meet us there, then come back here. You have your ticket, so you will be able to get on the train anyway. They are group tickets. At least, most of them are group tickets. So you should travel at least in threes anyway, but just to be sure. Now, is there anyone who is not in the WhatsApp group who would like to be? Right, let me come round. Who also worked for a language school, and he had Einstein in his tour notes. I never had him in mine, but yeah, there's a Christchurch reference with Einstein. Anyone else famous you know who studied or taught at Oxford? Yes, she was an Oxford person. Now, her college, I'm not quite sure which college she was, but it's not one that we're going to see. So it'll be a while. Sorry, we won't be seeing that college. Here they come.
So you'll just join us here.
introductions. Hello everyone, my name is Steve, and this is my very good friend Akil. Say hello.
Hi.
We are both your guides today, and this little chap here is Isa, and he's the boss.
Hi.
So, as I said, where we can, we'll stay together and just give the notes together. Some places there's no space, we'll have to separate into two groups. So, everyone from my school, Malvern House, and where's Moxana? There. And Moxana's group, you stay with me. Everyone else, you go with Akil. Now, the first time we'll do that is when we get to a crossroads called Carfax, and we'll be on different sides of the road. So I will go to the right, Akil will go to the left. Okay, so I asked you just now if you knew anything about Oxford. So as an introduction, the first time that Oxford was mentioned in any of the history books was in the year 912 in a book called the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle. And the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle mentions a little settlement called Oxenford. So let's start with the name. What is an ox?
This.
Well, I'm standing on, well, not standing on it, but behind it. This is an ox. Picture please. No, not here. Ta-da, one ox. No, it's a kind of a cow that's got big horns. Now,
No, it seems a wool.
huh?
It seems a wool.
Yeah, but it is an ox. Second question, what is a Ford? Don't say a car, although my picture has a car in it. But what is a Ford?
Like a fortress?
Okay, so forget the car, which probably isn't a Ford anyway. Oh, it is a Ford, yeah. Who'd have thought? We're talking this bit here. A ford is part of a river where the water level is very low. So you can walk across it, you can drive across it, and centuries ago farmers would take their oxen across it. So that's why it's Oxford. So the ox by the ford. Now, a very important date, possibly the most important date in English history, is 1066. What happened in 1066?
Who said fire?
Not the fire, that was 1666. You got three of the numbers right. Okay, what happened? Don't tell me, tell that.
Battle of Hastings. Anybody heard of the Battle of Hastings?
The Battle of Hastings.
No.
The Battle of Hastings marked the end of the Saxon period of history, and it brought a man called William, who was the Duke of Normandy, to be King of England. And because he became king by fighting and killing the old king, and not by being the son of the old king, he didn't feel safe in his position. So he ordered the building of lots of castles all over the country. And he put his own men in those castles to control the people. And the castle here in Oxford was built in 1071. And next to the castle, they built a little church. And the priests of that church soon got a reputation as teachers. And even as early as the year 1100, the priests of that church were touring around and calling themselves masters of Oxford. So these are the origins of Oxford University, which is the oldest English-speaking university in the world. I said English-speaking. It's not the oldest university. Where's the oldest university?
In Portugal.
Where?
In Portugal.
Not Portugal.
Italy.
Italy, yeah, which one?
Rome? No, it's a country.
I think I heard it. Bologna. Yeah, that's, yeah, well done.
Bologna.
10 points.
Hey.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. We will give you points every now and then. Keep your points, because when you get 1 million points, you can exchange them for a Big Mac at McDonald's. You have 10. Yeah? You've got a way to go. Now, in 1167, after another disagreement between England and France, the king at the time, who was called Henry II, called back all of the students who were studying in Paris. He said, okay, we're not friends with France anymore, so come home. So Oxford became the natural place for them to come. So more and more people came to Oxford to study. Now that started causing its own problems, because with more and more people coming to Oxford to study, it started causing problems for the people of the town, the residents, and they started fighting. And they called it a conflict of town and gown. Gown from the robes you wear when you graduate, you have your graduation gowns. Now, this came to a head in 1355 in a particular fight, which started, as many problems do, in a pub. But in those days, they weren't called pubs; they were called taverns, and it was called the Swindlestock Tavern. And a student went into the Swindlestock Tavern, asked for a glass of wine, and for some reason, he wasn't happy with the quality of the wine. I don't know, maybe the tavern owner was putting water in it to make it last longer, but whatever the reason was, the student said, "This wine is terrible. Give me my money back." And the tavern owner said, "No, no, no, no. You have the wine, I have your money, that's how it's going to stay." So the student picked up his cup of wine and he threw it at the head of the tavern owner. Now, I don't know if it hit him or not, but it did make him very angry. And the tavern owner went outside to a church opposite and he rang the bells of the church, and that called all the people of the town to that church. The student went to another church, rang the bells of that church, and that called the students to that church, and then it all came together. A very big fight, what we call a riot. Now, we've got a riot here. This is a modern riot. Lots of fighting, lots of things being broken and throwing things. Now, it went on for a couple of days. Some people even died during that. Now, who got the blame? The students or the townspeople? You would think it was the students because he threw the wine, but actually no, it was the townspeople who got the blame, because the king was on the side of the university. And in fact, the mayor of Oxford had to process a procession to say how sorry he was for what happened. Something which happened every year after that. Right up to the 19th century, when a particular mayor said, "Hang on, why are we still doing this 600 years later? You know what? We're not going to do it anymore." So they stopped doing it. It lasted for hundreds of years, the procession, to apologise for what wasn't their fault, at least not in the beginning. Okay. So, do any of you have any ambitions to study at Oxford University? Who? Oh, Marietta, really? Excellent. Well, do you think it is more expensive, less expensive, or the same price to study here as any other university in the country? You say more? You say more? You say more? Is that true? No. Well done, you said that. Yes, it is the same. Now, I say this every tour, but I have fewer and fewer reasons to be happy about the age that I am. But one thing I can say is that I got my education for free, right up to and including university. So my local authority paid for my university fees. Now it's not the case. Now, my picture here needs updating because I'm not quite sure exactly how it works after Brexit, but how it used to be that if you were British, European Union or EEA, what's EEA? Do we know that? It stands for European Economic Area, and it includes countries like Switzerland and Norway, which are not in the EU. So if you were in any of those, I skipped a step. See, I haven't done Oxford for 4 months. Hold that thought. Because Oxford and Cambridge have a different organisation compared to other universities. Now, I went to university in London, and they had lots of different buildings. Now, what do we call a university building? Campus. Oh, yeah, hold that word, but campus, yeah. So my university had different campuses, but it was just one institution. Oxford and Cambridge have got colleges, and the colleges are like independent businesses. They own the land that they're on, and they govern their own affairs. So you have 2 levels of the university. You have the administration, which covers your the lectures and the exams, and then you have the colleges, which are more like one-to-one tutorials, accommodation, welfare, and that kind of thing. And show this again. So, if you want to go to Oxford University, you apply directly to the college, and if the college accepts you, you are part of the university. And if it is your first degree, you pay £9,250 to the university, but nothing to the college per year. And that's just the fees. That doesn't include accommodation and food and clothes and beer and all other things that students need. If you're outside of those countries, you pay £15,755 to the university plus another £7,000 to the college. Now these figures are quite old, per year, yeah. Now that may have changed. And I understand that now the EU countries have gone over to that side. So it's really only British that will be on the left now. So Mariana, are you rich enough? Okay.
There's always scholarship.
Yeah.
Right, so what we're going to do now then is we're going to jump down, and we're going to head down there, cross the road, be careful. Always look both ways when you're crossing the road, and look out for bicycles. Lots of bicycles in Oxford. Let me tell you this, a tour of the hospital is not included.
All right, before we go, can we just do one thing? Can we just have a show of hands for your group and a show of hands for mine?
Okay. Right, so hands up. Who's in Malvern House? Who's in Roxana's group? Okay. And who's everybody else?
So when we separate for some of the notes, you guys are going to be with me and Isa, and you guys are going to be with Steve. But we'll go together for as much of it as we can.
Yeah. So it's only where there's no space, because no, we're almost 60 people. Some spaces are quite small. We can't all stay together. We'll have to separate. But the next point, we can still be together.
Good job. Come Isa.
Well, they did renew my contract because they realised it was more profitable to get 2 people in that flat than 1. So they did renew it. So I'm actually still living at the contract.
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't.
This way, guys.